We are back in our program, and as we are running our program here, we are seeing right now that our lines are switching between pages, and the ability to switch pages is actually pretty quick and pretty impressive. So that's the last thing we did. Let's go ahead now and look at what the next program it wants us to run is. Okay, so you probably think your computer is a little crazy, but now we'll prove you it is really YoYo. In fact, you can call this program YoYo and enter the following program. What I'm going to do real quick though is I'm going to save this as lines 2, because lines 2 is the one that moves back and forth. Okay, so now we're going to type in new. We're going to type in a new program, and so now here we're going to PCLEAR all of our pages. So line 10 is going to say PCLEAR 8. Okay. Line 20 for P equals 1 to 8. These are our 8 pages. Ooh, we're going to use PMODE 0, which is the lowest resolution mode that's black and white that supports 8 pages. Okay, line 30, PMODE 0, comma P. Line 40, PCLS. Now I see where they're going with this. So now line 50 is line 128, comma 0. 128, comma 0, which is dead center to the top through 138. So 128 is dead center. Line 138 is going to be over 10 pixels. Comma. So it's going to start off by going 10 pixels, but then we're also going to say P minus 1, which is P minus 1 times 15, comma P set. Now I'm going to try to step through that logic there mathematically. And I think I shoot 138. I screwed up part of it anyway, so let's edit line 50. Line through, I need to do an insert left paren, shift up arrow. Let me make sure that an X extends it to the end of the line here. So it's line 128, comma 0, which is dead center top, through 138 is the starting point, which is 10 pixels over, but then the Y position is going to change because it's going to say, oh, and I screwed that part up here too. So let's edit line 50 again. So it's line 138, comma, insert 10 plus, shift up arrow. God dang it, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. How do I get out of here? Break, clear. Can't, screw me, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Shift up arrow, down arrow. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Shoot, I screwed the pooch on that one. Screw line 50. I don't know what the hell just happened to you. We're going to start over. You're making my freaking head explode here. Alright, so line 50 is line, left parentheses, 128, comma 0. That's the starting point of our line. Through, left parentheses, 138. So the line's going to start in the center, and then it's going to go over 10. But then the vertical position is going to be relative based on the 8 steps that we go through. So a lower step will be higher, the next higher step will be lower, 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 lower. So as we go through this 8 times, it's going to get lower. So so we go to position 38 on the X, which is 10 over. But then the Y position is going to be a formula based on where 8 is, because we're doing this 8 times. So then we start off by saying 10 plus. So we're automatically going to add 10. We're going to be at a minimum of 10 down. And then we're going to say P minus 1. So P is how many pages we're going through, times 15. close that parentheses, comma, P set. I think I have that correctly. So we start off on 128.0 is the starting point of our line. Then we go over to 138 as the next point, but the vertical is going to be 10 plus P minus 1 times 15. So when P is 1, P minus 1 is 0, so 10 plus 0 is 0. But then you multiply that times 15, that's going to be 150. And so, and then the next one, when P becomes 1, it's going to be, you know, so it's going to just kind of go down a little bit more. As P gets higher, the line's going to go longer. So we're going to be drawing kind of a diagonal line that goes down further each time, up to 8 times is what's happening there. Now, line 60 is going to draw a circle at that same spot. We haven't learned the circle command officially yet, but we're going to learn it now. So we're going to say line 60 is going to create a circle. This is a very cool command. If I can only find the right letters on the keyboard. Note to self, don't try to do this on a real Coco ever again. What was I thinking? 128 is the horizontal position. The vertical position is now going to be P times 15, in parentheses, comma 15 for the radius. So a radius of about 15 pixels around. So the circle is going to be dead center on the horizontal, and then the y-axis, the vertical is going to be whatever P is times 15. So it's going to be in the middle, but continue to go down where that circle is going to go. So it's just odd that it draws a line 138 over, so it looks like the line's going to be diagonal, but the circle is going to be straight. I need to see this when it's done. Okay, so then we're going to do that. Line 70 then says next P. And so then we finish drawing out this yo-yo that's basically a moving line and a moving circle 8 times on 8 different pages. Okay, so now we've done that. Now that we've created 8 pages of a moving yo-yo, now we're going to cycle through these pages. Okay, so line 80 says for P equals 1 to 8, go sub 110, go sub 110, next P. Okay, line 90 for P equals 1 to, never mind, for P equals 7 to 1, step -2. Go sub 110, next P. 100 is go to 80, which is going to continue to loop this. Okay. 110 says PMODE 0, comma P. Line 120 says screen 1, comma 0, which is black and white or black and green. Line 130 says for T equals 1 to 10, next T, which just slows it down for a second. Line 140 says return. Let's see what the heck, R-E-T-U-R-N. Let's see what the heck this is going to do for us, and if I screwed anything up in the process. Syntax error in 120. Okay, line 120 is screen 1, comma 0. What is going on, everybody? Original Gamer Stevie Stroh here with you. And what are we looking at here today, boys and girls? Well, it's upside down, but this is my brand new DVD. It is the Coco Fest 26 exclusive gameplay video featuring 13 brand new color computer games, not available on YouTube. These are brand new color computer gameplay videos that will only be available on this DVD. You can only get this DVD in one of 2 places. The first place would be my website up here, ogsteviestroh.com. You can grab yourself a copy today online. The second place will be at the 26th anniversary Last Chicago Coco Fest in Lombard, Illinois, April 22nd and 23rd. I will be there in person with copies of these as well. So get yourself a copy today of 13 brand new color computer gameplay videos featuring 2 hours of Coco gaming goodness. I am the original gamer, Steve Bistro, and we'll see you at Coco Fest. Bye-bye, everybody. How about those apples? All right, now it's drawing 8 pages of yo-yos. Oh, look at that. That is pretty freaking cool. The yo-yo is going up and down. So yeah, so what it's doing, I see why they had the, and of course I got to do everything backwards. I can't do it backwards because my brain's not that freaking smart. But it had the line continuing going to the right. So the line, instead of being center with the yo-yo, the line is on the edge of the yo-yo, which would make perfect sense because that's how real yo-yos are. In my dumb linear symmetrical mind, I thought that everything should actually be dead center with the yo-yo. But in this case here, it's done. So this is a pretty cool thing here in doing a 4 next loop. And then with these 4 next loops, we were basically switching pages. Based on the page we were at, we extended the line to the right because we started off with the top of the line is 128, which is dead center. We automatically went over 10 spaces to 138, but then we added a formula that incremented 138 by the value of P times 15. And I guess the times 15 is because that's the radius of the circle too. The circle is a radius of 15. So it had to go over approximate spaces of a 15 increment each time to be even with the edge of that circle that had a radius of 15. So the line is gradually going over. At the end of each line, we draw a circle in that same relative position, and we did this on 8 pages. So there's actually 8 different images here. And then the last part of the program just goes through and switches to each page, activates the screen on that page, lets you see it, and pauses for a count of 10. So 130 for t equals 1 to 10. If I edit 130, and I want to change this to, let's just delete that and let's change this to a 5. It actually would run faster. So when I run this now, I can make the delay less, and now the yo-yo is just going crazy. Right? So, liar. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a liar. If I change 130 and say for t equals 1, 2, and now I'm going to insert 2, shift up arrow, get rid of that, change that to a 0, extend to the end. Now when I run it, I've slowed down the yo-yo. So now the yo-yo is going to scroll slower. And now we can almost appreciate the brilliance that is this yo-yo. Matter of fact, I think we need to slow that down a lot. Let's edit 130. And let's just do a C9, C9, change that to 99. And let's slow it down because I really want to see each frame of this animation here. Look at that. Yum 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 yum. That is pretty cool, right? Matter of fact, instead of using the time delay to slow it down, we could actually insert sound and make higher sound, right? So there's lots of things we could do with this. We could use the sound command and do it that way. But how would we make the sound get lower as we did it? We need to figure that out. So we have 110 says screen mode, screen mode. So for P equals 1 to 8, go sub 110. Go sub 110. For P equals 7 to 1, step -2, go sub 110. And then we're going back to 80. So I don't understand why we're doing this twice though. Line 80 says for P equals 1 to 8, and then we go sub 110. P mode 0, kind of P, screen 1, 0, that activates it. Oh, that does it in reverse. That's why. So for P, so from 1 to 8, from 7 to 1, step -2. And so we're actually skipping some. So that's actually switching the pages backwards. So that's why we have it in there twice. The first one cycles forward through the pages. The second one cycles backwards for the pages. Now what I need to do is to figure out that depending on where P is, I want to make a sound, but I want the sound to be, why don't we just do this? Let's just, this for starters right now, we're going to say sound P times 10 comma 1, and let's just see where that goes. Okay, so with this sound here, the lower it gets, the higher the pitch. I could never get tired of looking at that. So let's do this. Let's say sound P times 20 comma 2. We're going to make it a much broader range of sound, and we're going to make it pause a little bit more. Simple things for simple minds. I could never get tired of looking at this. So it's a really cool program of cycling through pages forwards and backwards, and rather than just doing a pause, I thought it'd be kind of cool to have sound and have the sound representative of us moving up and down, so the scale is getting higher and lower. I kind of like that. That's kind of cute, right? So